morning. Happy Tuesday. So today I decided to do a walk here by the beach, close to my house. This is about 4 minutes from me. So I used to come a lot more often. I used to really come every day. But um, then I don't know. I just stopped coming for a while, I guess, because I brought a treadmill at home and I just been more of a home. I've been doing home workouts and been home more, but it is a beautiful place. And I'm gonna do that long walk. We're gonna be going that way. So people drive by, so we just gotta kind of stay on the edge because people fish here. This is where people park their cars or trucks, drink beer, and fish. And so yeah, so I'm out here, and today I decided I wanted to talk about my GLP-1. I know I've been talking about my HRT on other videos, but I also wanted to talk about GLP-1 because I had a girl message me about, how my journey has been, and she wanted to start, and so I was like, hey, let me do a video. And I was just talking to my brother about this. I have a brother, and he's gained some weight. He's older than me, and I lost the weight, but I hadn't told anybody. Like, the whole GLP-1 thing, when I started it, I didn't even tell my husband. I just started with a med spa, and I was just paying cash in a med spa monthly, about $200 for the shots, and I would go in every Monday to take the shot at the med spa. And that's how I initially started the GLP-1. Then I realized once I started it that there was better options, that there was a cheaper way maybe to do that, because every time I increased the dose there, it was going up, and it would reach almost like $400 a month. And then I started realizing that I could go through telehealth. So I went through Mochi, and I was going through Mochi, and I got semaglutide first. So I started with semaglutide, and the first week, I just felt really full, and I realized, okay, this might work because I'm not hungry, so I think this is gonna work. And then I started, the weight started coming off. And I lost the first month, I lost about 10 pounds. And then from then, it was like almost like a pound a week, or sometimes 2 pounds, and sometimes it would go up, and it would just go kind of like up and down, up and down. And I've been on that GLP-1 now for over a year. And I have lost about, I want to say, probably 75 pounds on a GLP-1. And I feel good. I'm 128 pounds as of today. So I'm a pretty normal weight now, but I still take GLP-1 for my maintenance. And since I have a vial, I can kind of change it. So I change how much I take depending on how hungry I am during the week. Sometimes I take one shot, sometimes I split those. I just play around with it. I do my own thing. I don't follow any instructions really. I do sometimes a shot, sometimes 2 shots during the week. I just make sure I spread it at least 3 days apart, and it's been working for me. I just listen to my body. So about GLP-1s. So what is it, right? So it's a GLP-1. It's a hormone that we make in our bodies that we already make. So that's what tells your brain that you're full to stop eating. So basically, once you take the shot, you have this spike in that hormone. So it's telling your body when you eat when to stop, and that you're full, and you just feel full. Along with that fullness comes, in the beginning, you feel uncomfortable. You feel bloated. You feel gassy. You feel nauseous, And all that does kind of ease up with time. It does ease up, but I didn't do too bad. I mean, it was doable. I can manage. Now, what I noticed is when you eat certain foods like pizzas or hamburgers or anything greasy like that, you get more of the burps, more of the fullness, and more of that uncomfortable feeling. If you eat like a salad and chicken and raw vegetables and stuff like that, I think you'll be pretty good. Like, I don't think you're gonna struggle much at all. So kind of makes you eat healthier because of that. That's why a lot of people tend to lose weight on it, because they feel like that they don't want to eat all that other food because they just don't feel good on it. They feel yucky afterwards, basically. So yeah, that's how that works. And Tricipitide, that is like the newer version of the GLP-1, which is a dual agonist, which is a GLP-1 and a GIP. That one is like more like your brain is telling your stomach that you're full. It's not just your stomach feels full. It's like your brain and your stomach kind of work together, and it burns more fat, so it's more efficient with the cravings, with the snacking. Because even me, I noticed with the semaglutide, the GLP-1, I started after like 4 months in it, I would get cravings. Like, I'd be driving and I wanted a Starbucks, I wanted a pizza. So then when I switched, that's when I make a switch to Tricipitide, because I felt like the glutide wasn't working that good anymore. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try the Tricipitide. So even though it's like double the price, okay, it is double the price, because one's like $150, the other one's like $300 a month. So so basically with that one, it's less cravings, less side effects, just better overall. And you lose weight, and you don't feel the burps, and you don't feel the gas, and you don't feel none of that. At least I did it. I feel great on that. Which now, because I had a stockpile, I have semaglutide in my fridge and I have Tricipitide. I have both. So I personally switch it up. I don't want my body getting used to it, so I switch it up. I take like a month, I'll do Tricipitide, and then I'll go back to semaglutide a couple weeks, do the shots, and then kind of like switch it up. Like I said, I do my own thing. They're both the same kind of medication. Ew, I just ran into some fish here. What is that? I just ran into these fish here on the floor. That's not good. What are they doing here? Huh, maybe they washed up. No, maybe somebody fished and left them there. Who knows? That's kind of gross. With the sun, it's gonna stink. I'm not touching that. Well, okay, so the Tricipitide, I switch. So I go back and forth. About every 4 or 5 weeks, I switch it up. And I haven't gained weight. So I actually continue to lose. So when that happens, if I feel like I don't want to lose anymore, like this week, I felt like I was 130 and then I went down to 128. So I went down on the shot. I took less, and in a couple of days, I'll just continue eating the same, and I should go back up to 130. And then I just kind of watch it, and I weigh myself weekly, around there, every 2 weeks, because I used to weigh myself daily, but it messes with your head, because the fluctuations can go up and down so much that you think you're gaining weight. Or one time I was 10 pounds heavier, and I freaked out. I was crying, and I was like, no. And then like a week later, I was normal again. So I was just bloated from my period or something. So it messes with your head. And so I just weigh myself weekly now. So also, Tricipitide. Now, there's a new one coming that everybody's talking about. Everybody and their mama wants that one. That's the Retatrutide. Okay, that one's a triple agonist. That one's going to burn fat, protect your muscle, and do the appetite suppression. That's the new one, which, I had a gentleman offer me that just the other day through his peptide store or something, and he sent me like a link, and I was like, I looked it up and I saw it, but that's the gray market stuff. That's not even out yet. That's not FDA approved, and I don't know what that is, and I'm not injecting random stuff in my body. I think if I was 300 pounds and desperate again, I probably would have taken that and been like, I'm on it, I would have lost major weight. But at this point, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm a mom, I have a kid. I don't know, it's just scary. You don't know what you're getting. So I'm gonna wait for the FDA approved stuff, and I'll probably try it. I'll try it to see if it preserves muscle and keep me I can still use it for maintenance. I mean, I plan to be on a GLP-1 for the rest of my life because I have the disease of obesity. So, GLP-1s have changed my life. They gave me that peace and quiet in my head about food, about what food is good, what food is bad, and I can't eat that, I'm stressed, I overate, I have to work out, I have to go for a run because I ate a burger. And my head was like that, if I would overeat when I was in my journey, I would punish myself. Those days are over. I don't have to punish myself anymore. I just live my life, and the last 2 years have been really amazing because of that. Really, really amazing. I feel that's the benefit for me, just more of a mental, of course, with the weight loss. But I had lost 100 pounds myself working out, fasting, and keto. And then when GLP came out, I added the GLP, and that made my weight loss journey so much easier. That you realize how hard it was for me to lose the first 100 pounds. The last 75 pounds, it was easy because I had the GLP-1. So I totally recommend it. If somebody was starting now at 300 pounds, this is the way to go, which is what I told my sister. I have a sister that's about probably 300 pounds or even more. She's taller than me, so I would assume she's weighs more than me because she's as big as I was, but she's taller. So I was telling her about it, and I told her to ask her doctor because she's pre-diabetic, and that's when I shared it with my family. So when I got all the benefits and I did the weight loss, and I just decided that I wanted to tell my family about it in case they wanted to hop on board, and for them to know that obesity is a disease that us as a family, we all have it. My siblings and I, my dad has it, my grandparents from my dad's side both had it, and they all, pretty much all my dad's side of the family have passed away from diabetes. Different things. One went to like a diabetic coma, one lost a leg and got real sick, dialysis, like stuff like that, but they all have passed away from diabetes. All of them, all my dad's siblings, his parents. It's bad. Okay, so us knowing that, I told my siblings, like, this is a choice, talk to your doctor. And my sister said, well, my doctor offered it to me before. Last time I went and I was pregnant, but I said no because I was trying to get pregnant, have a baby. And so she had refused it. And I told her, you need to, talk to her again, try to get it and get on it, because she needs the help for her health. She's a mom now, she has a baby, and now she's ready. So I told her, get on it, and I pushed her to do it, and she said she said, you convinced me, sis, I'm gonna do it, which I feel good about that. I want my siblings to do well. And my parents, they're in Mexico, but I also told them about GLP-1, and I told them they can find it in Mexico, and I send them all the information for them to get it out there, which is, I thought Mexico was going to be more cheap because medicines are cheap down there. Not this one, okay? I think it rounds out to about $450 a month for them in Mexico, like dollars. So like dollars turned to pesos, which is like 4,300 some pesos. That's how much they want for the GLP-1s over there. I was like, whoa, that's expensive. But, I told them look into it and to start getting that. So yes, I'm all for GLP-1. I love it. I don't want to get off it. I'm afraid that the compounding stuff might get banned or whatever, canceled, because I've heard about it. And I'm just not ready for that. I don't know what I would do. I can't afford the $1,000 Zepbound pens and from Lily and all that, and I don't have insurance, and so I've just been paying out of pocket. So that scares me. So I have a stockpile. So I order like 6 months supplies, and now my issue is that I don't know if they expire, because the last couple months, they were like good for a year, but the last orders, they're only good for 6 months. So I can't really stockpile that much because I don't want to waste my money. So if anybody here knows about like one that does 1 year buds on your GLPs, let me know. You know, I'm down to check it out because I want to stock. Like, I want to have at least a year's supply in my fridge. Just a year at least, so I can figure it out in case I lose my compounded medications. I love compounded. All my stuff that I get is compounded. My HRT is compounded. My GLP-1s are compounded. So yeah, that's what I like. But so yeah, so Tricipitide. If you want to lose weight, that's what I told my sister. You want to lose weight. If I were you, now that I know, because when I first started, I just started with semaglutide. Because it was cheaper, and that's what the med spa was giving me. I didn't really know about that there was choices. So, but once I learned about it and switched, I would totally do Tricipitide first. I wouldn't do semaglutide. The side effects suck compared to the other one. It's just way better in your body, easier. Yeah, you pay a little more, but you drop weight fast. You feel good. You don't get the cravings, and it just works overall better. It's worth the money. So I told her to do that, and she has insurance through her job, so her doctor offered it to her, so I don't think she would have to pay much. So anybody out there that wants to do that, I suggest you do Tricipitide. So yeah, and what I did was just walk at first, and I just ate normal, what I would normally eat, but then slowly I started figuring out what would get me gassy, what wouldn't, what would hurt my belly, what wouldn't, and I just kind of went from there making adjustments. But I didn't follow a diet. That's when I stopped keto, because I was hardcore keto. And that's when I was like, because the doctor told me, on this, you don't have to do keto. Just eat normal and try to live a normal life so that you can learn to live a normal life and eat carbs and eat protein and eat fats. So that's what I did, and it's worked out for me. Now I eat everything, whatever I want. Just, I don't eat a lot of it because I get full, and my belly is just not that big anymore. You know, I have a belly, I guess, but I am a 45-year-old woman. My birthday's April 6th, so I'm gonna say 45 now. I'm mentally preparing myself. So it's gonna be April 1st tomorrow, so in 6 days, 7 days. So I usually do that a week before I start saying I'm 45, so I can mentally prepare myself, because birthdays are hard for me. I cry on birthdays. Yeah. So yeah, Tricipitide is the winner for me. I have some in my fridge. I have a 3-month supply right now, which I'm finishing a bottle of semaglutide that I had opened first, and then I'm gonna hop to Tricipitide next week. So when you hear me say semaglutide or Tricipitide, that's why, because I switch between the two. I don't like my body just getting used to one. That's just how I do it. My body adjusts, and I noticed if I go 4 or 5 months on one, it just completely stops working. I start gaining weight, I start craving, but since I switch it, I don't get that. I've been on it, like I said, almost 2 years. And if I wanted to lose more weight, I could. I know I could. I just have to take my shot, and it just kills my appetite. I'm drinking this protein, 30 grams of protein, while I walk. Should have brought water, but I need protein. And it's not super hot. It's actually here. I live in Southeast Texas, which is hot and humid most of the time. You'll see when I do videos this summer, it gets like 117 degrees. Today's like 75, windy, maybe 78, I don't know, but it's not even 80. It feels good. There's the end of this walk way over there. See if we can make it. See, there's nobody here. It's like I'm by myself. I'm by myself on this walk. It's kind of nice. So, tell me, if you're gonna start GLP-1, tell me what you're thinking of getting, semaglutide or Tricipitide. They're both good. Also, if you can't afford Tricipitide, then just get the other one. Don't let that stop you. They both work. You might just have to deal with a little bit more belly issues with the SEMA, but you can still handle it. Just get some Tums, some Rolaids, and some like Pepto and stuff like that, and you'll be golden. It's not like the end of the world. So that's why I say, if like my money's short one month, I get the semaglutide. If I have extra money, I buy Tricipitide. That's just how I do it. That's just me though. I do my own thing, like I said. I'm not telling people what to do or how to do it. I'm just sharing what I do. That's it. Okay? So, no judgment towards others and no judgment towards me. Okay? I'm fine. I'm healthy. All my labs are good. So, I'm good. So yeah, oh, and also, so what happened, let me tell you this funny story. So when I was telling my husband, I was hiding the medication. I would put it in like a frosting can, and I would close it up and then put it in the fridge. And my husband doesn't eat sugar, or especially chocolate. So I got a chocolate frosting, and he would never, ever open that. He's allergic to chocolate. So I was hiding the medication successfully for like 4 or 5 months. And then I started losing weight. And then when we would go eat, I would barely eat, and he started noticing, like, babe, you're not eating. Like, are you okay? Like, how come you don't finish your fajitas? And how come you don't? And I was like, I'm just not hungry. I'm just not hungry. And then once I decided to tell him, I was like, you know what? Why don't you try GLP-1? I was like, oh, because he had inflammation. He had his body felt inflamed. He had joint pain. And I just saw him struggling with his body about inflammation for like a couple weeks. And I knew I had this medication that helped with inflammation, and it was in the fridge, okay? So I told him, I was like, you know, I take GLP-1. I've been taking it for months. I have it in the fridge. It's good for inflammation. And I showed him a video about it, like a TikTok or something. And I showed him that, and he was like, you have some? I was like, yeah, and it'll help you in your joints and stuff. So he was willing to try a microdose. So he tried it, and he felt amazing, okay? After like 2 weeks, he was like, oh my God, this works. I feel great. And so now he takes a microdose of GLP-1 of the semaglutide. So that's why I do too also, because he likes semaglutide. The Tricipitide is too strong for him because my husband is a thin, tall guy. So he's already thin. He weighs like 155 pounds, and he's like 5'7". He's thin. So we don't want him getting skinnier, you know. He's good the way he is now. So he takes a microdose, and he's been doing that for inflammation, and he loves it. So now that kind of worked out, because now he wants to order some, and so I always have some, and so he uses it, I use it. And I got all my sister, my brother, and my other sister. When I told my sister Marisol about it, I have 2 sisters. One is I get along with better, like we just talk more, I guess. I get along with both of them. It's just that I talk to one more than the other because one's just really busy at her job. So, I told her, tell Belen, she could use it too. And she said, oh, Belen's already been on it. But my sister uses it for a dumping syndrome, where she would eat and she would have to use the bathroom right away, almost like an IBS. And she was losing major weight because her belly was just like, she would eat and then just use the bathroom. And that happened to her after a car accident. She had some kind of surgery, and then that happened to her. So her doctor prescribed her Zepbound for the slowing of the digestion, since it slows digestion. So that's why she uses it. And I just found out, I mean, I'm telling you, this conversation I had with my sister and my brother, this was last week. This was about maybe 10 days ago. So this was not long at all. And I found out that my sister Belen has been on the GLP-1 for over a year. And she just had a wedding in November, and she looked amazing. And I thought she had lost weight for her wedding. Well, come to find out, she's been on a GLP-1. So yeah, and her and myself are the only ones in the family that are not overweight. My brother, my sister, my dad, they're still overweight. My mom is a little overweight, but she's never been overweight. It's more on my dad's side of the family. Somebody got here, they're about to go fishing. So yeah, so that is the situation. And I told them they need to start. And I think they are. I think now, I know my sister Marisol is looking into it. And my brother asked me, what does he have to tell his doctor to get approved? But see, I don't go through insurance. I don't have insurance. So the truth is, I don't know what he needs to tell his doctor to get approved. I just told him to say he wants to try it, that he's overweight, that our family had diabetes, stuff like that, you know. But maybe I'll try to help him out a little bit more. I'm going back. So it's a mile. So walking back is going to be another mile. So yeah, so I told him to do that. And I think he can get it. I mean, he's 51 years old and he's like 230 pounds. He's got a big belly. So I'm sure he can get it. And I don't know if he's pre-diabetic, but I know my family, they all are diabetic. And my sister's pre-diabetic. She's only 37 years old. So I do want them all to get on it somehow, some way. It's good for so many things, not just weight loss. And yeah, so if you have any questions about it or anything, hit me up. I'm pretty good at knowing about this because I've read books on it. I've also, been on it for almost 2 years, so both medications. So I can tell you, my experience, and I know quite a bit about it at this point. So yeah, GLP-1 is the new tool. Also, you do have to, move your body a little bit. At least walk like me. I walk. I lift some weights here and there. I don't go crazy beast mode all the time, but lift weights, protect your muscle, eat protein, and drink water. The water is so you can use the bathroom because you can get constipated. So they say you have to drink water on GLP, water, drink a lot of water. It's so you can use the bathroom because if not, you just can't poop. You'll get like constipated, stuff like backed up, and you can end up in the hospital. So this stuff is good. It's getting hot though. I don't know, I'm gonna have to take the last swig. It's not good when it's hot. I didn't realize it's gonna get hot. Ooh, look at the water. It's nice, huh? So yeah, well, I'll let you know if they do start with my family and how they go. But this is my experience. I've lost a total of 170 pounds. Actually, with the 2 pounds I lost, 172 pounds. And 100 on keto, myself, hard work, dedication, fasting, starving, struggling, crying. I mean, it was hard. It was hard to lose 100 pounds without the GLP. Now, with the GLP, I lost the additional 72 pounds. Easy. The weight just melted off. Doing pretty much, because I was already kind of doing keto and like was eating pretty good. I think that's what helped me. And I had already implemented all these other things. So GLP was just like the gravy on top for me. It just really worked for me. Easy. I still feel that my life is easy now. I don't have to worry about food. I don't have to worry about cravings. I don't have to worry about somebody bringing a box of donuts. I can handle that. Before, I would literally want to hide the donuts because I was like, I'm going to eat them all. Like, hide them. And my husband would, I swear, he would put a towel on top of donuts at my house because I would tell him I don't want to see them. And he'd, cover them up because I would eat them all. And so, yeah, no control. And now I can control all that. All that, I can control it. And I think that's what I love about GLP-1. So at the end of the day, my conclusion is that more control around food. No more binge. No more overeating. No more feeling guilty for overeating and feeling like crap. No more crying because I overate and couldn't control myself and felt weak and helpless. All that is gone from me. So if that's you and that sounds like something that could help you out, check it out, consider it. And there's a lot of telehealth companies out there. I've tried a lot of them. I've tried Orderly, I've tried Pomegranate, I've tried Mochi, I've tried all of them. I like Mochi. I do like them. I feel like they have good service, good shipping. You could talk to a doctor anytime. They have like dietitians that you could like talk to if something made you sick. They just have a lot of help for the price that you're paying. I feel like they help you out the most, and they have like the best service. If they like happen to overcharge you, they give you your money back right away, no issues. Like, it's just like a legit company, and I think that's why a lot of people talk about it. That's how I found it through other YouTubers. But so yeah, if anything, let me know. If you're starting, if you're on it, if you're maintenance, anything, just, chat and let me know how it's going. Well, I'm gonna continue walking that way and finish my walk, and we'll talk next time. All right, guys. Bye-bye.